If you want to gain hundreds of thousands of gold or 200,000 to a whopping 568,000 Amrita per hour, this optimized for farming spots is for you so you can level up fast and break the game early. Like for example, the Yagyo Soldier spot is hands down one of the best spots to level up fast early on. This method will allow you to farm a Yagyo Soldier quickly and efficiently, even when having a low budget or beginner setup. You can find this special spot by playing the Princess Tsubaki Battle Scroll, a battle scroll that will be unlocked automatically when progressing in the story. And as far as I remember, this mission will be available after unlocking your main hub in the game or the Eternal Rift. And you will never miss the first shrine in this area, which is going to be our key shrine for this method. When it comes to the farming build, I will start suggesting specific builds from this point forward, so you can replicate my results in all of the spots on this list. This is your exact build for this spot and the next spot on this list, equipped with general gear. I have a level 20 character when I started optimizing this method, and the sword that I have here can just be crafted in the blacksmith. And the training robe in the Hakama are highly suggested because of their bonus 3% additional Amrita gains. And I suggest slotting in at least 2 pieces of Warrior of the East armors to have the additional 5.3% martial arts damage. And any accessory that gives you key recovery speed is suggested. My Mezuki trick is still being used in this method, and the Power Talisman from the Yoki Soul Core for additional damage. Flux 1 and 2 and Frost Moon Humanity is required so we can pull off our combos later on. And the Awakening passive is highly suggested so you can cast your boss and summons in the fastest time possible. But the main factor that makes all of our methods efficient is the Severing Spin or your badass lightning slashes from the Samurai's Katana. Make sure that your Amrita gains from titles are upgraded as well for maximum gains per hour. And as always, I put up a list covering all of the item drop locations used in this guide, which you can find in the description for your convenience. Start the actual method by casting your Power Talisman to gain an additional damage boost and start sprinting towards the nearby gate in the area. Wait for the Yagyo to appear, and once it reveals itself, target the enemy and make sure to cast the Mezuki while the Yagyo is preparing for an attack. Pull off 4 consecutive mid-stance normal attacks, then pull off a charged Severing Spin, followed up by a Frost Moon attack, and finish the fight with a Spirit attack. Get all of the possible loot and fast travel back to our key shrine to reset the run, rinse and repeat. But what if you can pull off a charged martial arts skill? It's not really a big deal. Cast the Mezuki, do 4 consecutive normal attacks, followed up with a Frost Moon attack, then finish the fight with a normal attack and your regular skill finisher. Each run takes a lightning fast 20 to 22 seconds with reset and loading times included, and gives you 1k plus of Amrita per run. Gear average income after 5 minutes of farming is averaging around 995 to 1k. So if you do this consistently for an hour, we are looking at a whopping 200k worth of Amrita per hour from the combined raw kills and gear income, which is a lot for an early game progress. And if you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine. Or consider supporting us on Patreon or by becoming a channel member today. And I appreciate your support. But what if you are looking for a better spot that can even give you more gains to be overpowered early? The Clan Estate spot will allow you to farm an Ipondatara Yokai efficiently, which is an elite enemy by the way, so this guy drops weapons and armors like candy. You can pretty much access this spot as soon as you can access your first major crucible area in the game, which is the Hamamatsu Castle Town. But I suggest not farming here until you get all of the items in our previous build to make the most of your time. By progressing in the area, you will never miss the Clan Estate Shrine, and this is our key shrine for this method. As previously mentioned, the top 4 and 3 methods have the same builds, and there were no changes made in this setup. Start the actual method by casting the Power Talisman for more firepower, and the Ipondatara Yokai is just around the corner. Bait the enemy and let it attack first, and summon the Mezuki to raise your chance of hitting the target. Then deal 4 normal attacks in mid-stance and a charged strong attack, and a Severing Spin after that. This combination is more than enough to take out the enemy, so get all of the goodies and head to the shrine to reset the run, rinse and repeat. If you simply don't have the charged martial arts gauge, cast your power talisman, engage the enemy, pull off 4 normal attacks, then a frost moon, followed up with a spirit attack. If the enemy survive, pull off another set of normal attacks and that should do it. Another example here without a charged martial arts where you can just pull off a grapple attack to end this guy in a flash. If you master the specific methods in this spot, each run takes a lightning fast 21 to 23 seconds with reset and loading times included, giving the user 1500 gains per run and a whopping 2200 average gains from gear offerings every 5 minutes. In an hour of consistent farming, we are looking at a whopping 296k Amrita per hour from the total gains from raw kills and gear offerings combined. But of course, all of these spots are already the best ones in the early game, but what if you are looking for the earliest spots at the very start of the game? This video will teach you all of the best earliest spots available, and find the video by clicking the card here or by heading to the description. And yes, dear viewer, the Clan Estate spot is not the best spot in the early game, and it is nothing compared to the next 2 spots. The Hori Castle spot is hands down one of the best spots in the early game, or the best when it comes to gold farming. This spot will allow the user to farm normal soldiers in the most efficient way possible. Not only you will be getting tons of Amrita and gold from this method, but you will also have fun in the process by slaughtering jumping mindless soldiers with your katana. You can access this location by playing the battle scroll Hori's Fleeting Petals, which you can unlock by clearing the side quest Disaster at Lake Hamana in the northwestern part of the Warring Triads map. Access the battle scroll or the mission, activate the first shrine in the area, and you are good to go. I'm showing you the updated build on the screen for this method, which is basically the same with a few changes, like weapon upgrades for example. And to maximize our gold income per hour, the Wealthbringer Talisman is highly suggested. I've also added few levels to the build so I can slot in more talismans to have better results. Now here's the fun part. Start the actual method by casting the Wealthbringer Talisman and head to the inner estate while aggroing the 2 enemies near the shrine. There are 2 enemies here that you need to kite inside your first room and head straight to the adjacent room afterwards. Do a sharp right turn to aggro the sleeping axe guy in the next room. Finally, another samurai is waiting in the hallway, and do a sharp left turn this time and jump on the wooden railings. Jumping on the wooden railings is very important so the soldiers will mimic your movements. So yes, whatever happens, don't take the wooden stairs when exiting the estate. After jumping onto the railings, quickly cast your power talisman and wait for the enemies to group up a bit and start spamming Severing Spin. 3 Severing Spins are more than enough to take these guys down, and if an enemy survives, just take it out with a normal attack before getting all the spoils. Then fast travel back to the shrine to reset the run, rinse and repeat. Each run usually takes around 28 to 30 seconds with reset and loading times included, and gives you a whopping 1900 Amrita and 3500 to 4k worth of gold per run. I find the human enemies drop more gold compared to yokais, which makes sense. And if you do this consistently for an hour, we are looking at a whopping 269k Amrita from raw kills and gear offerings combined, and 448k gold per hour. This spot right here is indeed one of the best spots if gold is the one you need. I can also understand how this can be the top one for most people because of the insane gains per hour while also having fun slaughtering people. But if you are aiming for the best Amrita gains per hour, what if I told you that the previous spot hourly income is nothing compared to the next spot? The Ryotan Temple spot can give you an out of this world 568k Amrita and 280k gold per hour, and let that sink in for a minute. This method will allow you to farm a Jar Old Woman yokai and a Jailer Oni near a specific shrine with an insanely efficient and big brain strategy. You will be unlocking this spot by helping Tora in clearing the yokais in Ryotan Temple, and the last shrine in this location is our main key checkpoint for this spot. This spot is borderline mid-game already, so I needed to update the build. The main key takeaway here is to upgrade all of your armor sets as well, since we will possibly be tanking attacks later on. My accessories here have 20% item drop rate to increase my possible gear income per hour. But the main difference here is that I am using the Last Stand Talisman to have even more huge damage boost, but in exchange for the user's health being largely reduced, increasing your chances of failing your runs. The Last Stand Talisman does stack with the Power Talisman, so you will be having a huge damage boost. The Hino Enma Summon on the other hand plays a big role in this method, so make sure to have that as well. I started optimizing this method around level 35 since I tried the lowest setup possible. But you can go for level 40 or higher for comfort, and you will be scoring way higher gains if you have higher levels as well. What is important here is that your constitution or HP stat is not lower than 8 points because we are avoiding getting one-shotted later on. When it comes to the key skills to make this method work, maximum attack masteries are suggested, along with unshakable and defense masteries, which will all make sense in the actual method. And again, all of the item drop locations used in this build are in the description for your convenience. Start the actual method by casting Last Stand, Wealthbringer, and the Power Talisman as the last buff. Tiger Sprint to the next area where the key enemies are, and listen to this carefully. Before you approach the jar enemy, make sure to target it first. Then cast your Hino Enma Summon, and the summon needs to drop on your right side. Let me repeat this, since this is very crucial to make this method efficient. Your summon, or the Hino Enma, needs to be dropped or land on your right side, not to your left or in front of you. This is very crucial because if you take a closer look, the Hino Enma Summon will paralyze the jar enemy and charge on it, and push it back or knock it back where the Jailer Oni is, so you can easily hit both targets at once with your upcoming AoE attack. So going back to the method, after casting the Hino Enma, position yourself near a stone lantern on your left, and immediately cast 2 Severing Spins. 2 casts of this skill are more than enough to take out the Jailer Oni and the jar enemy if you follow my specific build. Once all of the enemies are dead, get all of the spoils and fast travel back to the shrine to reset the run and repeat. This method requires a little bit of practice to perfect, and there are times where you can hit both enemies at the same time with your Severing Spins because of wrong positioning. When that happens, just cast another Severing Spin or the third Severing Spin in this method, which is a charge 1 usually. I ask you to upgrade your armor and have at least 8 points of constitution to avoid getting one-shotted, since there are a chance that you will be receiving attacks because of wrong character placement or when you are just practicing. If you don't prefer having a risk, on the other hand, it is okay to not use the Last Stand Talisman and do the same strategies. You will be slower and have fewer Amrita gains per hour of course, but that is an option. Mastering the methods will allow you to have a lightning fast 23 to 25 seconds of clear time and gives you 3200 raw Amrita and 17 to 1800 gold per run, while giving you a whopping average of 5k Amrita per 5 minutes. If you do this consistently for an hour, we are looking at a mind-blowing 568k Amrita from the combined gains from raw kills and gear offerings, and giving you a nice bonus of 279k worth of gold per hour. If you simply want the fastest gold income per hour, of course, the Hori Castle spot is the best there is. While if you want to get both, on the other hand, while stocking Amrita for mid-game for example, then the Ryotan Temple is hands down unbeatable. But what if you want to know the earliest mid-game spots you can access? This video will teach you everything you need to know, so click on it and I will catch you on the next one.